I want it all. Life for the famous, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'm so shameless. Promised I wouldn't let it go once I grabbed it, but now I want more, and I'ma have it.
Hey, what's up? LockEmUp Hoops, Realistic Randy, Mastermind, BoldBarry, talk all things NBA. Boston Celtics, apparently they've got a whole lot of activity going, even though they didn't do anything during the draft. I believe it was Dan Shavitz. I can't quite remember, what his name was, is the one that's breaking all the news as far as, look out, Boston, Celtics might get a big-name player by the end of this week. That's what he said. Right now, Russell Westbrook, and there are other names too, like Damarcus Cousins, Blake Griffin, players like that. But right now, Russell Westbrook is the hot topic, and it makes sense. I mean, he's on essentially a one-year deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder have already lost Kevin Durant. They gave away James Harden to keep Serge Ibaka. Then they gave Serge Ibaka away. So essentially, they've got Russell Westbrook sitting there, who
the only lonesome.
And all of a sudden, there was one left. Boston is rumored to be in the running to get Russell Westbrook. BoldBarry, I want to start with you. You're the Celtics man out here. You watch the Boston Celtics stay inactive with all their draft picks and everything they had stacked up during the NBA draft, and now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all this activity is happening. Do you think that the Boston Celtics will get Russell Westbrook, man?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, my disappointment was when we lost out on Kevin Durant, and I mean, granted that's free agency and everything, and we have to sign dudes and all that. Trading for this man, it doesn't really make sense to me. I've been trying to rack my brain around it all day. I've texted Mastermind and spoken with Mastermind a few times, saying that, I am definitely a Russell Westbrook fan now because of what KD did after I was hating on him and saying that he's chip blocking after he was chip blocking on KD for about 9 years. But I'm officially going to be a fan whether or not he's a Celtic or not. But I don't see it necessarily happening. I mean, Mr. What's his name? Bringing the Brinks truck man, Zay Thomas, that's the only way I see it remotely happening. I mean, yeah, we got the pick, and it's also a gamble too. Russell, he is a free agent after this year. Now, a lot of teams are not going to really want to trade for a guy who's you're uncertain with. Like, look at Dwight Howard, for example. He left the Lakers high and dry. So you have to be
Never
sure.
That.
Oh yeah, I know you won't. But you have to never really put trust and faith in these players when you make these deals. And you also, like you like to say, realistic, Randy, you don't want to give up the farm for Russell Westbrook around. And I think a lot of players or a lot of teams, plus Russell actually has a lot of leverage in this situation here, mainly because Russell could probably be like, nah, I don't want to go there. And I mean, it still works out with the deal, with the money and everything. But also, like, a lot of teams, they have the leverage being like, well, if Russell's not going to sign, we're not going to give you a huge package deal. And also, if it does happen, it would have to be a third team involved. And I have no idea at this moment in time who would even remotely be involved in that. I'm heard about, the Kings and possibly Philly. I think Philly is our best trade piece in a 3-team deal anyway. But
who would y'all get from Philly? Okafor still? Or that's still being talked about?
That's kind of being floated around up there. I mean, that's just a trade chip. That's just another team that's just involved because Philly just likes to trade everybody. So I'm just putting them in there as a team that could be involved with the deal. However that's going to work. That's the business side that I don't know too much about at this moment when it comes to the trades. But it'll be a solid move for the Celtics. I'll tell you that. It'll be Russell being at the 2, or Isaiah playing off the ball, so to say, because Russell is definitely a ball-dominant player. I would love it, bring Russell to the Garden with the scream, and he's like, doing all this stuff. I would love seeing all of that. So, I'm gonna let you guys, touch on that just a little bit. That's all I got pretty much with that. I'm just a little confused actually, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit.
Let me ask you something real quick. Do you think the Celtics are really having intensive talks? And forget whether it's Russell Westbrook or Blake Griffin or Damarcus Cousins. Do you really think the Celtics are actually doing anything, or do you think the Celtics are throwing these rumors out there, just say, hey, look, tell the public, Dan, Shaq, or whoever it is, tell everyone that we're doing something, so that way the fans don't stay pissed off at us for the whole
for the Jaylen Brown pick.
Right. Jaylen Brown. Nah, I don't. I think we're in some talks. Our phones are buzzing. I mean, we have assets. Like Jay Crowder, the untouchable guy, Avery Bradley and Marcus Smart, who teams seem very interested in. So I don't think it's a bluff. It's a smokescreen for being like we drafted Jaylen Brown, and we probably get to that later on, later on in the segment. But yeah, we're on the phones with people. When are we not on the phones with people? I also put out there, for my thing draft night. I'll see y'all in February. All this stuff that they're talking about now. I think NESN, I believe, had put out an article themselves, which is a credible source, but it's also a homer source. So I'm not too sure how to weigh in on all these rumors here with Russell. It would be a gamble, and we do have the leverage. I wouldn't say give up the farm for Russell, not knowing that he's going to sign, but I absolutely would trade Jay Crowder, whoever he is. That why he's the trade blocker. I don't see why. He's a good player, hell of a scrapper, blue collar guy like we always describe Celtic players, but. I mean, we talking about Russell Westbrook here, or like Jimmy Butler's and stuff. Like, we really gonna we're really holding out with.
Talking about
Jay Crowder's off the table.
Crowder, man.
Yeah.
Don't you ask.
Talking Jay Crowder, dog. Well, I'm gonna let you guys, do y'all thing on here and explain a little bit of this Russell stuff to me.
Yeah, I guess I go. This Russell Westbrook story, it's funny. It's funny because this guy BoldBarry and a few other people used to really, 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 really hate on this man and say that he's just a force. He just doesn't want KD to win. He's a chip blocker. And it's funny how the tables turn, how everybody wants Russell Westbrook now.
I'm a fan now.
He's a fan now. But I've always
been y'all quote.
I've always been a huge fan of Russell Westbrook. I just think he has that, he has that DNA. He has that, like, I want to win and no one's going to get in my way type of attitude. So whoever does get him, I think they got a hell of a player, and they're automatically contenders automatically just with that guy on their team. But as far as teams he can go to, this is a tough one. Right now, I don't see any teams really making an offer for him unless they get that guaranteed, like, are you going to sign as soon as we trade for you? Because if you do that, then you're just basically trading all your assets, because I'm sure Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City Thunder are asking for a star or a really, at that level to basically do a trade, because they just lost Kevin Durant and they're about to lose Russell Westbrook. So they need something in return. So they'd be stupid just to take whatever too. But at the end of the day, you still need something because you're going to lose him regardless. But as far as breaking down teams, Celtics does have a lot of leverage with this because of those two Brooklyn picks for this year, well, the 2017 and the 2018 pick. Just that alone, and Jay Crowder, he's a really hot topic right now, including because I guess he has a good contract too. I keep hearing it's because of his contract, and Marcus Smart's a good prospect. I keep hearing a lot of that, and I don't know if the Celtics would do that just because they've worked so hard and what they have now with Isaiah, Jay Crowder again, Avery Bradley, just those guys. And they just signed Al Horford. He's basically the build around right now. So Al Horford. So I don't know if they want to give up so much just to get a guy and then start right over, because it looks like they would have to do that. But their future is bright. So Celtics, they definitely aren't contentions in my opinion. Another team I'm hearing is also the Lakers. I personally would love Russell Westbrook on the team, but I don't want to give up. I'm hearing they have to give up D'Angelo, Ingram, and a pick. So I'm like, no, we're stopping that right now. Please don't do that. I understand it's a superstar, but these guys are going to be the future of they have like 15, 18 years left in the league. So just you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just let them develop. It looks like they will be hell of a players in the future. So, and if Russell really wants to go to the Lakers, just sign him in the offseason if he gets to that level. So I wouldn't make a trade for him. I would just work around with the young players. And I was reading an article in CBS Sports earlier today, and there was a few teams that they threw out there. I won't break all of them down, but there was one interesting team that I saw, and that was the T-Wolves. They would trade. So basically the trade would be, this is like, one of those trades, but they just threw a scenario. It would be Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, and Ricky Rubio in a future pick for Russell.
You're not losing nothing. You're not losing anything.
I thought about that. I'm like, that's a solid deal for the Wolves.
That's a solid deal.
Wolves.
For the T-Wolves, hell yeah.
What?
You didn't lose nothing.
Levine and Dunn.
You lost 2 point guards that you don't really need on that team with Russell. Russell makes up for 2 of those dudes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
Karl Anthony Towns top 10, remember?
Oh man. We already know Karl Anthony Towns. He's top 10 player. Yeah.
Right.
If I was the Wolves, I would think about that just because of the win now. If you want to win now, I think Russell would help you win now.
Elevates all those players.
You know it's an interesting team. And it works out for the OKC Thunder as well. You're getting Chris Dunn, you're getting Zach LaVine. I still think Zach LaVine
be off ball together.
All-star type of player. He still has that potential. I don't think he will be an all-star with Wiggins and Towns and Dunn there. So that's a lot. There's only one ball in that situation. So I do think that's a good move. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Russell play with Wiggins and Towns. But the thing is Russell, would he want to sign a deal in Minnesota and stay there for another 4 years? So it all depends on Russell. He has all the leverage in this, and I personally don't see them make it. I keep hearing that they should make a move before the season. I don't see that happening. I think they'll do February. It's the only thing that they have at this point.
They have to watch out for other guys.
You can't not get anything. So I say February and just keep working up. Just keep answering your phones and see what you get from there. But I don't see anything else.
Let me ask a quick question before you chime in, Realistic Randy. Now, for Sam Presti here, I know you've been screaming this man's name a lot. This man's in a bind now. He's kind of struck out here with the Harden, the Ibakas, and KD. You know, especially, and it's damn near about to be Russell. Do you think he's going to be really that good of a GM? Like, he's lost 3 stars. Man,
I think actually I think the Thunder is. I don't think they're going to get much for Russell Westbrook because the other 29 teams in the league are MasterMin and BoldBarry. You both said it. Like, we are very. If I'm the other 29 teams in the league, I am very aware that Russell Westbrook is probably going to leave the Oklahoma City Thunder anyway. So why waste my time giving up all this, these draft picks and these assets and players and everything like that for a 1-year deal? Unless I feel that this 1 year Russell Westbrook is going to give me the absolute fantastic chance to give me a champion. No, forget that, a championship where I'm just like, I feel really good that we can win. I'm not going to do it. I don't think the Thunder are going to get much in return. And if they wait till February, they're really not going to get anything. They're like, whoa, go ahead. Let them play the rest of the season out, and we'll see what happens now. As far as the Celtics, man, I'm interested to see what they would give up for Russell Westbrook and what the Oklahoma City Thunder would take in regards to that. Because obviously the Thunder, they'll be like, well, we want the Brooklyn pick. And that is – If Danny for a 1-year deal of Russell Westbrook, where he's probably going to leave you too, you're going to give up Brooklyn's first round pick, which is probably going to be a top 2 pick next year.
Look what we did, bro.
For a dude that you can get next year that could be and according to a lot of people, this NBA draft coming up next year is supposed to be loaded. It's supposed to be loaded, so I can only imagine. So there is no way in hell if I'm Danny Ainge, I'm giving up that Brooklyn pick next year. So I mean, is it Marcus Smart? Is it Jaylen Brown? Oh, you can have Jaylen Brown. I mean, I don't know. He could be a good player, but I mean, we'll talk about him a little bit how he's looking. But as far as right now, yeah, sure, take Jaylen Brown. I would take that, but. Minnesota, Chris Dunn, and Zach LaVine for 1 year, Russell Westbrook? Absolutely not. I would not do that. I think
Russell would be signed there, no lie.
I think Chris Dunn, I said it on the last pod. I think Chris Dunn could be the second coming of Russell Westbrook. His aggressiveness, the way he doesn't care. He's not scared of anything. He doesn't back down. I mean, he has that energy that it's just like, man, I watch his mixtapes and I'm like, man, I want to play basketball right now. I want to go hoop right now, dude. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, if I had to put money on it, I would say Russell Westbrook is going to stay with the Thunder for the whole season because
I think so.
Because why would I give up anything unless it's
let him walk.
I tell you what, if I'm Minnesota, I'll give you Ricky Rubio. I'll do a straight up trade. You can have Ricky Rubio for the next 3 years of his contract or whatever it is. You want him? Sure. Go ahead and take him. So
throw away.
Yeah. So that's all I got on Russell. I mean, I don't know.
It's a tough situation. I don't think Thunder, like you said, they don't have too much leverage. They have to pretty much take the best offer, which won't be that much.
Yep.
Because every team knows it's a 1-year rental.
Team selling the farm for a rental.
I can't. You can't.
You can't.
Unless you, well, not even the Lakers. Lakers did smart by that with Dwight.
Don't
they
do
just
that.
got unlucky.
Yeah.
They got lucky. And they just traded Bynum. Bynum for
right. And Bynum was hurt, and he died after. So
exactly.
His career died after. All right.
He's in a stand-stricken bed now, so yeah, with blonde hair. So
got blonde hair, not fitting in seats.
Well, I tell you what, the end of the end of this week is coming, and we'll see. You know, of course, it's here right now. I mean, we're releasing this on Thursday. I mean, you guys, everyone that's watching this, you'll see this on Thursday, and then technically there's 48 more hours after this pod is released, and who knows, maybe something will happen right before we release this one. You never know. But the end of the week is near, and I don't know. They say Blake Griffin and Damarcus Cousins and everything like that as well. I mean, but I just find it. I just find it. I don't know why. but here's my big picture. I just don't understand how, if the Celtics are really getting this activity, because I'm kind of a little bit skeptic on this, because why didn't it happen during the draft? You still have the next two first round picks of Brooklyn. Why is it suddenly now? Oh, we're getting all this activity. Don't worry, Boston fans, we got you. I told y'all when we did the post draft coverage. I told y'all I saw on ESPN live feed when they switched to the Celtics war room, and they were just looking sad, defeated on their phones, and they knew they were getting roasted. So I feel like part of this could be like, look, let's just let the fans know that something's happening, something might pop off. But I just find it interesting that suddenly, we're getting deals left and right. We don't know what player. It's whatever option we want. Maybe we'll take DeMarcus, Blake, or Russell Westbrook. We've got all these options. Boston fans, don't you worry about it. So I'm a little bit skeptical on that right now.
But let me tell you, don't sleep on must-see BG, because Danny Ainge and Doc Rivers here. Danny Ainge pulls off blockbuster friend trades. I'm just going to point that out right now. The gift from Kevin McHale, the gift he tried to get from Larry Bird. Now we got Doc.
And you know what?
Blake,
go ahead.
And I believe that happening more than Russell or anything, honestly, just because Doc loves AB, as stated in an article that I read earlier this week. Doc is sick. He'll put.
But do you think he's sick enough to trade Blake for Avery Bradley, bro?
So sick, yes. He's that sick where he's like, yo, I'm gonna bring back the band. He's like, yo, I got a D guy. I need D. I'm sick for thinking it, but Doc is sick for even entertaining it.
But you know what?
That's all I got.
If Danny Ainge is able to get Russell Westbrook because Doc Rivers is so nice, they're friendly and everything like that, then that is an indictment on Danny Ainge, because what do we talk about? His overall role as far as, was he president of basketball operations, whatever it is? Yeah. His overall role as far as overseeing the team, the two biggest moves that he has made up to this point was due to Kevin McHale out in Minnesota helping him out. And if they get Blake Griffin from Los Angeles Clippers because of Doc Rivers, then that means Danny Ainge, the only moves that you're making is based off of the relationships you have. It's not based off of, look at this player, look at this, I can give you this or this. It's like, hey, man.
Not off actual value.
We know each other, right? Help me out, So we'll leave it there, man. We'll leave it there, man. Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, Damarcus Cousins. Will anyone join the Boston Celtics by the end of this week? The clock is ticking right now. Up next, we're talking Adam Silver, commenting on the new rule changes to the Hack-a-Shack rules. This is LockEmUp Hoops podcast. I am Realistic Randy with MasterMin and BoldBarry. The whole league is in an uproar right now. Well, the legends wouldn't have done this and the legends wouldn't have done that when it comes to talking about Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors. We're going to sit here and, praise LeBron James for his 2 championships. He was the first athlete, the first NBA player in their prime to go out and form a super team. He was the first one to do it. Oh, let's power rank which one was worse. Are you kidding me? Both players left their team. They were there for a long time. They went to go out and get championships with other guys that they thought that would give them the best chance to do so. We've set the precedent. Apparently, it's okay to do that. Now I get a chance to show my face and my frustration. I still haven't gotten over the Vikings-Seahawks playoff game out at TCF Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Big-time Minnesota Vikings fan, and everyone found out about Blair Walsh or the Blair Walsh Project, whatever it is you want to call it. Everyone said, oh, you just made one mistake. You'll bounce back from it. Oh, no. See, you're learning about Blair Walsh right now. I knew about this dude, Blair Walsh, forever. This dude in the most pivotal moments where it's like, all right, we need this, especially in close range, he will find a way to screw it up. Vikings fans, they're out there, they're like, oh, well, we'll be back in the new stadium, we'll be in the dome, and it will be absolutely fantastic. Blair Walsh is the 6th highest paid kicker in the league. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, he'll be in the dome, he'll be all right. What are we going to do on the playoffs on the road away from the dome? Let me know what's going to happen there. The Oakland Raiders, you better look out for them. You know, Derek Carr is one of the up-and-coming young quarterbacks in this league. They got a triple threat with him, Amari Cooper, and Khalil Mack on the defensive end. You remember when it took talent to be famous? You remember you had to sing or draw a nice painting or come up with some good music or show some talent, sports even, right? Now all you got to do is flip a water bottle.